Welcome to the explainer that's going to completely ruin your standard fitness class, but in the absolute best way possible. You might think you know what Pilates is, right? You've probably seen it all over social media, in those trendy boutique studios, usually marketed as just a cool way to get a strong core and maybe improve your flexibility. But what if I told you the mainstream fitness industry has completely buried the lead? What if the exercises you're doing on your mat aren't just for aesthetics, but are actually part of a highly rigorous, hidden clinical protocol designed specifically to rehabilitate severe locomotor system injuries?
So, is your workout actually a medical rehab protocol? Today, we're totally shattering the myth that this is just some basic core workout for influencers. We're revealing its true identity, a highly targeted medical treatment for the locomotor system. We're talking about intensive, science-backed rehabilitation for everything from devastating spinal degeneration to really serious knee and shoulder trauma. Look, to really grasp the clinical authority behind all this, we have to look at the foundational literature. This isn't some casual PDF you download from an Instagram bio. We are talking about a comprehensive medical manual, specifically the textbook Pilates Therapeutico by Dr. Juan Bosco Calvo. He's a professor of human anatomy and literally the medical professional who introduced the method to Spain. This text details exactly how these movements act as a therapeutic intervention for musculoskeletal rehabilitation. It breaks down precise, evidence-based protocols for severe clinical pathologies.
All right, Section 1, Fixing the Spine, Lumbar and Cervical Protocols.
Before we even touch on the limbs, we've got to look at how this clinical approach addresses the structural core of the human body. According to Dr. Bosco Calvo's framework, the spine protocols are broken down into specific therapeutic targets for truly devastating locomotor pathologies. We aren't just talking about, getting a stronger back. We're talking about deliberate stabilization to treat mechanical syndromes. That means physically correcting postural deformities like hyperkyphosis, which is that excessive outward curvature of your upper back, and hyperlordosis. The protocol even provides targeted relief for both acute and chronic cervical or neck pain by strictly enhancing joint flexibility and neuromuscular control.
You've probably seen this next move. It's known as rolling like a ball. And honestly, it just looks like you're playing armadillo on a yoga mat. But clinically, it's a whole different story. Step 1, you inhale to round the spine, creating flexion. Step 2, you exhale to roll up. And step 3, you balance on the sit bones while maintaining arm tension. This is a precise neuromuscular drill. It's designed to massage the paraspinal muscles, force deep abdominal activation, and demand dynamic spinal stabilization in a highly controlled medical environment.
We actually see this exact joint flexibility protocol in action with the classic cat and cow movement. You pull the chest forward, squeeze the navel in, and round the spine. In the context of our medical source material, doing this actively hydrates the intervertebral discs and restores the natural, healthy articulation of your vertebrae. It's directly combating the stiffness and agony that comes with degenerative lumbar syndromes.
Moving right along to Section 2, Rebuilding Limbs and Joints, from hips to shoulders.
So once your central axis is locked in and stabilized, the protocol moves outward to the limbs. This is a true, full-body locomotor rehabilitation system. Dr. Bosco Calvo's text meticulously outlines protocols for major joint traumas. For the hip, it targets things like osteoarthritis and rotational disorders. For the knee, it's utilized for post-surgical recovery of blown ACLs and meniscal tears. Moving up to the upper body, the protocols address unstable or rigid shoulder syndromes and even localized issues like epicondylitis, which you probably know as tennis elbow, and wrist sprains. It's just a remarkably comprehensive approach to orthopedic recovery.
Okay, let's look at how a lower limb protocol actually plays out in real life. Take the preparation for a pistol squat. You extend the left leg to hover, keep the right leg bent with zero weight on it, glue your left elbow to the left knee, and reach the right arm back. This requires intense unilateral stabilization. You are rebuilding functional leg strength and forcing flawless biomechanical tracking to literally prevent the rotational disorders that cause osteoarthritis. It's joint alignment under load, perfectly echoing the therapeutic mandates of our source text.
Now, for upper body and core integration, check out the hovering table. The right leg kicks underneath while you cactus the left arm. Then you return to a hover. Sure, it looks like a complex fitness flow for a cool video, but therapeutically, this is aggressively challenging the shoulder stabilizers while maintaining pelvic neutrality. It completely bulletproofs the joint against unstable shoulder syndrome by forcing the limb to actively stabilize under dynamic shifting weight.
Section 3, the invisible fitness component. Neuromotor exercise and balance.
Now we're diving into something that the mainstream fitness industry almost completely ignores, but the medical community is begging us to pay attention to, and that's balance. To really get neuromotor training, we have to define our terms. On one side, we have static balance. That's maintaining stability while stationary, like standing on one foot. On the other side is dynamic balance, which is maintaining stability during movement, like trying to walk on uneven ground. These clinical protocols inherently train both of those simultaneously through proprioception. And if you're not familiar, proprioception is just your body's ability to sense its position in space without having to rely on your vision.
So why does this actually matter? Well, this number right here should honestly terrify you. 69.9. According to recent CDC data, the fall death rate for adults over 65 reached 69.9 per 100,000 in 2023, and it's been climbing steadily for 20 years. You see, balance is invisible right up until it fails. And when it fails, the consequences for the locomotor system are just utterly catastrophic. One bad fall can easily mean a fractured hip, a total loss of independence, or much, much worse.
But hey, here's the good news, and it's represented by another massive number, 35 to 40%. Evidence-based, structured neuromotor training, specifically perturbation-based balance training, where you actively challenge your body's rapid recovery reactions, can yield a massive 35 to 40% reduction in falls. That means every single dynamic off-balance movement in this protocol acts as a literal vaccine against gravity.
All right, Section 4, Healing the Mind. Let's talk about the psychological impact of mind-body movement. Because the rehabilitation of the locomotor system doesn't actually stop at the body, it literally alters the brain. The data you're seeing here comes from a massive systematic review and meta-analysis on the effects of Pilates and yoga on vitality and mental health. They used this statistical measure called Cohen's d to figure out the effect size. And check this out. The Pilates subgroup showed an effect size of 0.69 from mental health improvement. For vitality, it was 0.38. Now, in the realm of physical therapy and statistical analysis, those are solid, statistically significant, moderate effect sizes. It proves quantitatively that this protocol has a measurable, real-world impact on your mental well-being.
Breaking that data down a bit further, researchers using the universally recognized SF-36 quality of life scale found that regular participation significantly reduces symptoms of both depression and anxiety. It decreases subjective fatigue, slashes emotional stress, improves overall sleep quality, and even enhances social function and emotional role regulation. It's essentially the ultimate dual modality treatment. You're physically rebuilding your joints while simultaneously hacking your nervous system.
Finally, Section 5, the ultimate therapeutic protocol. Let's tie this all together.
So, how do we actually take all this spinal rehab and neuromotor training and turn it into something actionable? Based on guidelines from the American College of Sports Medicine, here is the ultimate preventative routine you can start doing at home. Step 1. Schedule it. You really only need 2 to 3 days a week for 20 to 30 minutes to start seeing clinical benefits. Step 2. Progressively challenge your balance. Make it a bit harder each time. Step 3. Advance from supported moves to dual task challenges. That just means you combine a balance movement with a cognitive task. And Step 4. Test your baseline. Can you stand on one leg with your eyes open for 30 seconds? It's a remarkably simple diagnostic tool that tells you exactly where your locomotor health currently stands.
As a perfect final encapsulation of this whole therapeutic philosophy, let's look at the bridge. You press into the heels, you lift the spine one vertebrae at a time, and you maintain a slightly posteriorly tilted pelvis to keep those glutes engaged and avoid overextending your hips. Think about it. It requires spinal articulation, hip stabilization, core control, and deep mindful breathing. It is the absolute epitome of a rigorous locomotor clinical protocol masquerading as just a basic fitness move.
So after seeing the actual medical texts, the biomechanical breakdowns, and that mental health meta-analysis, you really have to ask yourself, is it time to stop exercising just for aesthetics and start training for actual survival and longevity? I think the science makes the choice pretty obvious. Sound off with your thoughts in the comments, hit the like button if this totally changed your perspective, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.